Whenever I see a moving walkway in a movie or in real life, I think about systemic racism. And that's because 20 years ago, I read this book. And the book uses a visual metaphor of a moving walkway to explain how systems like white supremacy operate. And it stuck with me all that time because I think it's a really effective way for white folks like myself to understand how social systems operate and what we can do to intervene.
Get on there, it's a moving sidewalk.
In this analogy, racism is represented by a moving walkway. We are all riding on that walkway. Now, there are people who are actively running in the direction of racism. Those are the active racists. They're excited by it. Another group of people are just standing still, maybe oblivious, holding onto the handrail. Those people aren't doing anything actively racist, but they're not doing anything to stop it either. And of course, they're riding on a moving walkway, so they're moving in the direction of white supremacy like everyone else.
Why am I here?
Then there are people who don't like where things are going. They don't want to be racist, so they turn their back. Sort of a symbolic protest. The problem is, of course, they're still on the moving walkway, and the moving walkway is still moving in the direction of white supremacy, even though they have their back to the destination. What we need to do instead is turn around and walk in the other direction, right? And we need to move faster than the conveyor belt is moving forward. We need to be actively anti-racist.
Run! Why aren't you running?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you people?
A key part of this analogy is the understanding that racism is a social system. It is made up of laws and policies and practices and norms. It is not just the result of bad individuals doing bad individual racist things. And it doesn't matter that we didn't design the system of racism. We are participating in society, we are benefiting from it, we are on the moving walkway, and therefore we have a responsibility to work against it. The book is called Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? It's by Dr. Beverly Daniel Tatum, and you can find it in pretty much any bookstore. So once we're walking in the other direction and going against the flow of traffic, we're going to start bumping into people. Right? There's going to start being consequences for our actions. Other white people especially are going to start getting really upset. They're going to want us to turn back around and go with the flow like everybody else. Now, they might even start using coercion or violence to get us to do that. Another anti-racist activist named Dr. Kamara Jones took the metaphor a little bit farther. She explained that once we're walking in this direction, we need to start organizing other people to turn around and walk with us. Once we've organized those people, we can start to understand how this system operates, right? How the conveyor belt works, who built it, and its history. Once we know that, we can start to dismantle it. The idea is to destroy the system of white supremacy so it's no longer operating at all. Dr. Kamara Jones did a whole TED Talk on this called Allegories on Race and Racism that you can watch if you want to know more. Did I spend way too many hours trying to find every single clip from a movie where someone rides on a moving walkway? Yes, I did. I hope it was worth it.
Do you love your neighbor? Is it in your nature? Do you love a sunset? Aren't you fed up yet? Do you have enough love in your heart to go and get your hands dirty? Because that's what it's going to take to fuel this fight, is our love for each other. And our love for people that are different than us. Our love for people that are visiting from other places and working hard for their families. Because it's not enough to hate them, we have to love each other more than we hate them. But I want to be really clear, I fucking hate them. Oh man, I hate them bad, guys. I wish I didn't. There was a time when I would be like, brother, you shouldn't hate anybody, man. Because I was living in a car, eating mushrooms in the desert, you know? It's before I had fans and bills and a family. And I'd like to get back to that don't hate anybody shit. But right now, however much they think they hate trans people and immigrants, I hate them 10 times fucking more. And a lot of them moved to your great city and set up shop and fuck them. Are you jumping ship now? Are you having second thoughts, Joe Rogan? That's crazy. It's crazy, you little fucking gorilla. Listen, I've done a lot of acid and mushrooms and shit too. You know what it did for me? It made me think that all people are connected. It made me think that only love and joy matter. It made me think that I should fight for people different than me. It tore down all my fucking layers and connected me to the rest of the universe. It made Joe Rogan wait for a fucking rapist. That's not how it's supposed to work, Joe. You must have gotten some bad acid, Joe. It's not supposed to make you lick a pedophile's boots, Joe. And you did it wrong. You know, I'm having some second thoughts. I tell you what, I was really on board with him being Epstein's best friend for a couple decades. I was on board with his 6 bankruptcies and cheating on all 3 of his families, and fucking a porn star while his 3rd wife was pregnant with her 5th child. An immigrant with an anchor baby. I was on board for that. I was on board for him illegally using campaign funds to pay hush money to the porn star that he now calls Horseface. I was on board for that. That seemed okay, huh? It was okay with me when he did that insurrection, because I heard it had the word erection in it, and I thought it sounded alpha. Because I was taking my alpha brain. I was on board for him being charged with literal fucking espionage. I was on board for that. I was on board for stealing a bunch of classified, top secret documents, the most secret documents that our government classifies, and putting them in a shitty bathroom with a gold chandelier and a plastic shower curtain rod. I was on board for all of that. I was on board for 2 different juries adjudicating him as a rapist and slandering his rape victim. I was totally on board for that. I was on board for the grab him by the pussy. I was on board for the 28 different credible allegations of sexual misconduct. Everybody from pageant.
Whoa, that's a lot of allegations. I didn't write this. It's on screen. Who wrote this shit? There's something. What the fuck is happening here? I didn't write this. Must be Morgan. Hey.
It may have been.
Morgan has gained access to all of the things.
I am now. I control the horizontal. I control the vertical.
It's honestly just because I can't be trusted on my own. I've proven that over and over again. I'm a really shady guy. Okay.
Well, we've got one of those kids' backpacks with the leashes on it now. It's like a monkey backpack. We have one of those for you.
Yeah. I mean, I love that thing. That's the thing. It's great. It's really got a lot of utility, honestly. Yeah, here we are. We're the modern audience. You're the modern audience. We're all the modern audience here. And this is what we look at is the world, and that we see that through the internet, and that is a mistake.
Yeah, the internet has a bad. Al Gore, you were right on climate change. Wrong to invent the internet.
Right on climate change. Wrong about inventing the internet. Wrong to just see the election in 2000 the way he did. You know what I mean? Like here, I mean, in hindsight, he's got to be like, oh wow, we can just say no, huh? You know.
Unfortunately for all of us, and we've learned this lesson again this week with the Virginia Supreme Court, and the United States Supreme Court, is that you listening to this, if you're not a wealthy Republican, you don't count. You don't get a say. You don't matter what you think and what you.
I'm going to push back on that, and I'm going to make a strong case for that here tonight.
Okay.
That being this, just a little teaser is what we're going to get into.
Ooh,
it's in the title, The Ballroom. All right. The ballroom is like such a big deal. It seems to be almost the entirety of what Trump is focused on, despite the fact that he's got us in a war in the Middle East that can't get out of, and various other fucking slight problems that we might have in the country. But he seems really fucking fixated on that ballroom, right? Which is now, for some reason, they're saying it needs to be $1 billion.
And this was the ballroom that was going to be like all privately funded by his donors.
And up until now, it has been, but it's not just his donors. It is very specific donors. The donor list, other than a few who they tried to keep off of the list for some reason.
Oh, it's the Legion of Doom, right?
It's conspicuous. It's very conspicuous. It's the first layer of defense, I imagine, would be like, oh, these are obviously companies that are trying to earn some favor. And
sure.
That's just capitalism at this point. We can't be surprised about that. But then you think a little bit about what these companies do and what we know them to do and stuff. And so Amazon, Apple, Palantir, Lockheed Martin, it's not good. Meta, all of the companies that have been at the very least profiting off of the decline of civilization, and most of them, if not all of them, are just straight up contributing to it.
Well, yeah, and these people will give Trump anything because the position they're in the market right now is the market's lost its mind again, but they need money because their business model is insolvent at this point. They are spending money they don't have, and they are not making the money they need to pay back the debts they owe.
In other words, they wanted a president who would run the country like he ran his businesses, and here we got him.
So you're right, but they want socialism for the rich.
This could not be more incorrect, Blood Video Company. You could not be more wrong about that, and I hope you stick around to learn this, because I've got some stuff prepared to look at. If you haven't looked into it at all, if you don't know about it, some of the really public details, honestly, you just kind of have to compile what's actually known about the thing, and you're like, oh, okay. So
I will say there was a moment for me personally when I determined to my own satisfaction this wasn't meaningless, which was after the most recent let's call it assassination attempt. Very bad at it. And all of the group chat talking heads, because now we know about the group chats they're all in together to get on brand of the message, how they were all on the ballroom. That tells me this isn't just a meaningless ego project. It is an ego project, to be sure.
Well, and I didn't see your first comment there, Blood Video, because that actually is, I mean, you couldn't be more wrong, to be honest. Like, it is the most dystopian dictator dark omen, as I put in the title, of everything going on. Everything else is bad, and it's really bad. A lot of things look bad. We might not make it out of this one, guys, but like the ballroom is the thing that encapsulates how bad it all is from their perspective. Like, they know how bad everything is, and so
let's get it. Let's just So
I'm gonna start with this. Here, this was it was revealed recently that okay, you're just wrong, Blood Video. You can keep commenting stuff here. I mean, I would honestly just wait until you learn something.
Let's see the evidence, and we can measure it together, because I don't think I'm as
with the court recently kind of blocking some stuff they're trying to do or whatever, and we're gonna get into the timeline and everything. It gets wild.
Sure.
But like recently the court blocked something. I forget what it was exactly they did, but what happened in the process was they kind of put some information out there that the Trump administration wasn't really trying to make known. That being what up until this point, well, let's just hear Trump say it himself.
The military is building a big complex under.
I don't know why it's starting to. Okay, there we go.
Now the military is building a big complex under the ballroom, which has come out recently because of a stupid lawsuit that was filed. But the military is building a massive complex under the ballroom, and that's under construction, and we're doing very well. So we're ahead of schedule. It's part of it.
The people responsible for this massive military complex, they've previously worked on projects. What was that one thing called? It's like a shape. Pentagon.
The octagon. Wait, no, that's the thing they're building on the White House lawn.
That's what they're doing on the lawn, right? Yeah.
Right.
No, but they the same people that designed and implemented the Pentagon, and that has to be. I mean, look, we know from September 11th, 2001 that thing, it can withstand some shit. It can turn a plane into essentially what looks like the rubble of a missile. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I'm just
whoa, yellow card.
Yeah.
Hold on the leash.
That's the thing about this shit is this feels conspiratorial to get into. It feels like, wow, what are you doing? Now we're just turning into them. They've made it so crazy that we're now doing the conspiracy thing because things aren't going our way. No, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. And so I'm trying to, so he admitted it right there. He revealed that, first of all, you could tell he's kind of pissed that it's out there because the court revealed it, but he's going to go ahead and confirm it, because it's something he can brag about now. Let's see what else we got here. Got a couple of little shorter clips before we get into the more substantial stuff. There's this.
and to me by producer 99, and we are both obsessed with it. What if the ballroom isn't just a fucking ballroom? As the last line of this brilliant piece suggests, what if the ballroom is just a lid? Here's a glimpse into what sounds like a conspiracy theory, but I encourage you to watch the whole thing because Audrey from the Dre dossier makes a hell of a case.
Which,
Can you pause this?
just, yeah.
Where is this from? I don't recognize this person whatsoever.
We have covered him before. He was somebody that we looked at a video from whenever the Venezuela stuff happened.
Okay, what was his name?
The fuck. Yeah, let me see. It's
just so the audience knows who this
I know. I'm
is,
just trying to
'cause
remember.
There's not like a watermark or a like in the last clip we had the NBC logo, right? We know that's NBC.
Yes, I'm just trying to remember his channel name because I don't remember exactly. It's like the he's a
Okay.
leftist. He's a leftist creator that I honestly
Sure.
was surprised that I didn't keep watching because he seems to be very fact based and I mean he had his take was specifically, if you remember, this is whenever we talked about he was talking about what the goal is basically to what was it? It had to do with the petrodollar, like his whole take.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That basically this is gonna undermine that or whatever, and yeah.
Okay.
That was the take that I didn't remember hearing anybody else talking about. That's why we looked at it.
Okay, so that's that. Yeah, I saw that guy once, and it just sort of faded into the.
But I mean, what he's cutting to now is really what's relevant because she is someone who we also have watched. I don't know if you're on stream, but I watched a bit of her video, which is the first time I remember thinking about it, the ballroom as a data center, or at least
Sure.
partially. And now I still think it's that, but I think it's much more. We're gonna get into that.
Okay.
But like so it's a data center. And just based on we'll get in. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're taking our time.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is I'll look for his channel name here in a minute while this is playing.
Okay. While we play it. Yeah.
I have been digging deep, scouring the web across databases and looking for records, and I have come back with actual receipts, like some actual verifiable public record receipts. And now my theory is stronger than ever, okay? Because I know that Trump is not building a ballroom. He's building an underground data center, and I have the receipts now to prove it.
Okay, so this is going to his channel here. Oh yeah, Unfuck the Republic, I think is called the name. It's UNFTR is how it's UNFTR Media. 148,000 subscribers. UNFTR is dedicated to progressive politics, leftist economic theories, and social justice in the United States.
So he does a lot of shorts.
Let's see, does he?
That's just when I searched it. That's the first thing that came up was a wall of shorts.
YouTube is doing that now. So
yeah, it's really pushing that. It's kind of annoying.
If you go to the main page on his channel, he seems to post, plenty of longer videos as well.
Yeah,
mid-sized videos.
Right.
Okay. He's got video titles like 10 economic terms to know in this crazy economy. What will the next bailout look like? Don't cry from Malay, Argentina. That's pretty good. Pretty clever.
All right.
Trump is making us dumber. No.
So I want to address this one because this one is my area of expertise.
Sure.
Not all data, like a data center, we hear data center, we think one thing. You purpose build data centers. A data center for telecom is not a data center for document storage, is not a data center for AI processing, is not a data for military development. These are different. A data center is you purpose build these things for a type of load, and there are general purpose data centers as well. So to say that the federal government has a ton of data centers, why would it need more data centers? One, because you need to refresh those data centers with new equipment, new
Blood Video Company. I'm going to go ahead and say that I mean, yes, Morgan is absolutely right there, but what I'm going to say is that your insistence on continuing to deny anything that I'm presenting when we aren't even done presenting information, this is just kind of dipping toes and say, like, easing into, kind of incrementally introducing these topics. The denial of it, the insistence that it can't possibly be true, makes me pretty convinced that you're not actually here to hear about anything. You're actually not actually here to have an open mind about something and learn something, and or at least hear the damn case made and then say your point. You know what I mean? And that's gonna piss me off. And I'm sorry. I'm having, it's been a rough week. I'm not in the fucking mood for it. So like, you're welcome to be here. But if I keep looking over there and you're just like blindly going, no, can't be true, then yeah, you're gonna fuck off.
So yeah, let's calm down. I am also skeptical, because
Okay,
that's just my
that's
default
fair.
nature, right?
I am
But
also skeptical, but the thing is my I am skeptical. I am a skeptic.
sure,
However, when the facts are stacked up, it's
right,
hard not to see a certain image begin to take shape. And because I'm having a hard time dismissing that image, that's what freaks me out as a skeptic.
sure,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like,
And I understand that. For the audience, what I'm trying to do here is to
sure.
so we know what our sources are. We can take a breath.
Mhm.
And Blood Video Company, you also need to take a breath. And let's get through this together as a team.
So
And then we
let's
can
just get
discuss afterwards.
White House blueprints. There are stairs leading to what appears to be a solid wall. The White House calls it a ballroom. Trump confirmed it's a bunker. What's actually inside has never been made public. The firm designing it reinforced the Pentagon. The company building it has constructed $24 billion worth of hardened government facilities, projects most Americans will never know exist. A federal court has given a classified filing that even the opposing lawyers weren't allowed to read. And those stairs are just the beginning. The construction team, the materials, and a classified court filing all point to the same thing. Something the U.S. government has spent 8 months making sure you couldn't.
So this video is by a channel that I've never used before called Beyond Facts, and they have like 700 something thousand subscribers. That doesn't mean anything. I'm just saying that they're not, but they seem to be a channel that's just kind of generally, here's some interesting information presented, right? It doesn't even necessarily have to do with politics. So I'm just saying this because if you'd rather watch somebody who is a human being with a face and is actually making, the same exact, claims just without the information so fantastically presented, then we can do that. It's up to you. Got either one here.
So this channel, I will admit, I'm a little more skeptical of. Just I see some AI thumbnails is immediately like a red flag to me.
Okay, let's go with this.
That doesn't mean,
and I'm gonna
that
need
it's
you
not factual information that got elsewhere. Just being
to
a
bear
good
with me on this
skeptic,
one,
but
okay?
So if you remember, I was kind of funny to see her pop up on this because she's the one that I just shared a short from the other day where she was like, watch the video of the billionaires that were talking, and the one billionaire's like, guys, we might have to redistribute wealth, and she's like, oh my God.
right, yeah, it's a good one.
So there's a human. She's real, seemingly.
Yep.
I haven't seen her put her fingers in front of her hands yet, or her face yet. So that's apparently a test.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she just did, I guess. So
Yeah, she just did. So.
I've been sitting on this theory for a couple of weeks because I realized when I made a video about it that I needed visual aids. But the key lies in the last court ruling, or at least the reaction to the last court ruling. That's what made me go, aha, that's what it is. Maybe. Okay, note the. But I think this theory actually explains the absolute desperation there seems to be to get this thing built in the first place. As you know, it's been a super rushed process from the very beginning. The ballroom itself is barely designed, with stairs leading to nowhere and windows that were intersecting each other in early plans. Trump obviously broke ground without any actual approvals and told people not to worry about any sort of permits. And he's been trying to rush this through step by step. Now you got Republicans in Congress trying to get $400 million for the thing, or possibly $1 billion now. Everyone just seems really desperate to get this done. Trump especially. And maybe people around him are just desperate to avoid a tantrum, which they're not succeeding at because he seems to be throwing one constantly about this. But is it just someone who cannot hear the word no? Or is there something else that is driving this desperation? Well, I think it's possible that Trump may have revealed what it is that he's actually so desperate to build. So you may remember in the last ruling, the judge that had previously said they had to stop building until Congress approved and allocated funds for the actual ballroom, except in the case of construction for security purposes, had to basically rule again.
Be clear, I don't even know if she says specifically what exactly I'm thinking it is, but like just based on the various it could be this, it could be this, and it seems like each one of them is true, that it's kind of all of them, and that freaks me out. You know what I mean?
So here is the is it Trump having a temper tantrum, or is this some kind of rush security project? Both of those things are true, right? Like Trump is a temper tantrum prone person who is used to being able to bribe his way around building codes.
Let's present a timeline that involves both the progress on this thing from when it was announced to now, as well as in the same timeline, Trump's seeming health decline that we've all been right,
and
that paints a pretty specific picture, I think. And that's not to say that could just be completely random to things that shouldn't be on a timeline. But whenever one of the things that now we now know is that it's to include a state-of-the-art medical facility, like probably one of the best medical facilities in the country, at least, which the White House already has, by the way. She's going to get into all that. So.
Sure.
And say that no, building the ballroom itself is not addressing a security concern. You don't get to destroy an entire wing of the White House and then claim that its lack of existence is a security concern if you caused it. Underground and securing the site only. And Donnie predictably freaked out, and he said this: Trump-hating judge, yada yada, undermine national security, blah blah blah. A safe and secure large-scale meeting place or ballroom, one with bomb shelters, a state-of-the-art hospital and medical facilities, protective partitioning, top secret, not anymore, military installation.
All of these things already exist at the White House. Every single one of them. Bomb shelters, that supposedly are pretty fucking good. They've got I think something like 60 medical staff on staff at all times, and at least one fucking high level like surgeon,
etc., etc. Now, we've always known about the top secret military installation and bunker, but this hospital and state-of-the-art medical facilities, that's new. That hasn't been talked about or mentioned in all of these brags about all these top secret military installations under this ballroom. That has never been part of the discussion or the sales pitch. But apparently that's important enough to come practically first, after the bomb shelters, but before the top secret military installations. Is this the priority? Because that sounds like a priority. Could it be that perhaps the desperation and the rush to get this built so quickly is actually about having a state-of-the-art hospital facility nearby? Definitely a hell of a lot closer than Walter Reed, which is always an embarrassing trip to have to find an excuse for. Now, of course, you might say, well, of course the White House should have a medical unit. That just makes sense. It's not just a workplace, it's where the president lives. And I agree, which is why it has one already. And this is serious stuff we're talking about. Apparently the goal is to make sure that the president is never more than 20 ground minutes away from a high-level trauma center. And so the White House medical unit team has to make sure that that's always the case. And we're talking a medical unit that apparently, as of 2019, includes 60 medical personnel. And at least one physician is on duty at the executive residence at all times. It includes emergency medical and trauma capabilities at both.
My video seems to have frozen up, so I'm gonna have to, I guess, back out and come back in.
All right.
So all right,
I'll vamp. All right. So I think while Dana's gone, I want to address this one from Blood Video Company. If you're still there, hi. Because the White House has air, like, if you want to wait, it's not super secret if it's a date. Like we knew about this a while ago, even before this, because Trump's an idiot and mentioned it. Two, the White House has air defense. Air defense and secure airspace is a good place to put something like that. Also, Washington, D.C. has a power grid and infrastructure, things you need to run a data center. Like building a data center in the middle of nowhere makes it a bigger target because you have to build all of the infrastructure to make that work in the middle of nowhere, and it does not exist there. That's power, cooling, backup power.
Here's what I believe. This is completely my read based on everything else. I don't think anybody in any of these videos says anything like this. This is me.
Sure.
Why I say that's why they would do it, for the same reason that they would be building, one of the most state-of-the-art medical facilities ever. The same reason they'd have, brand new bunkers when there's already bunkers that exist on the White House property. Things like that is because they anticipate being there for a while.
Yeah.
And then they want to be, they want to have everything that allows them to both survive and maintain power in one spot. And that includes our data. That includes the data that they, have been harvesting since this entire time.
So that data is already distributed over largely private data centers as it is. They just have access to it. You wouldn't need a data center, and that data center wouldn't be big enough to hold all that. Now I do think that the idea of the White House ballroom bunker as the backup White House is not irrational. I think the idea that she presents about him wanting a closer hospital than Walter Reed because it's a trip across town, that does make some sense to me, especially because he has been disappearing for long bouts of time. He was just rushed to a dentist the other day.
Yeah, rushed to a dentist on a Saturday, I think it was, right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
and like you can't just like have a dentist flown in like via helicopter. Like Marine One isn't just like around for
Yeah.
you to do that with.
Once you see, I mean, they've been spending money on crazy stuff, but like once you see the timeline she presents, it's before we get back to that, I want to show this real quick one.
People need food. At the same time, this king, would-be whatever he is, without the would-be tyrant, is building a Versailles while people are not going to have food, and we're giving money to Argentina, $40 billion.
Let's think about that. Why, in the context of, let's just say that this is all in the context of an administration that, as we know, is the most unpopular administration in history now, is making mistakes on virtually every fucking thing that they are engaging in, is going very badly, and they are certain to face accountability in terms of the electorate if they are unable to properly steal or rig or whatever,
Right. So it is looking more and more like they're going to be able to rig it.
Yes, it is. That's what another reason I wanted to get into. We're welcome to Jim Crow 2, guys. We're here.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But anyway,
I hate it.
It sucks bad. But so, if they aren't able to escape within the bounds of the United States, what's a country that maybe would be a good one for fascists to go and hide in?
Boy, fascists hiding in Argentina. What year is it?
What is that? Is that something that's happened? Yes, it's something that happened before, and we're giving them all this money. Who, guess what? They happen to be governed by a fascist right now.
Right. Well, and part of it is that that money was given to them because they owe the $40 billion that Trump gave Argentina is so that Argentina's fascist government can pay back the Trump donor who lent them a bunch of money and owes them $40 billion.
I'm trying.
This was just a roundabout way to pay one of his buddies back.
Blood, I do actually appreciate each one of your I'm not saying I disagree with your skepticism on any topic, on any of these many topics within. What I'm trying to get you to do is to just kind of absorb the broader picture and the the story that it seems to tell. And so like when you say hiding his medical thing, yeah, he's been doing that. But like think about, for example, and this could be nothing. It could be a mistake. It could be the poorly trained agents. Why the fuck did they get JD Vance off the stage first? You know what I'm saying? Whenever that whole thing happened.
My genuine opinion on that is that Trump is slow and frail. And you, in an emergency, you triage and you move who you can as quick as you can.
I would think
Trump's
that
not
a
going
triage
anywhere
emergency
quickly.
in an assassination attempt would always be the president first. That's what I think it should be, right? Like,
I mean, if in a perfect world, yeah, but you're talking about people making a snap decision in a stressful situation,
and also people who choose to be Secret Service agents under Trump,
right? Exactly.
Because it is a at will sort of a job at this point. Like, so I mean, if you're protecting him, it's because you believe in him.
You want to be there, right? Yeah, if you were Secret Service and you wanted to be doing something else with your life, you very easily could get a very cushy consulting job anywhere else in the country.
Look at Dan Bongino. He used to be Secret Service guy. I think, didn't he? Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
He was a cop, and then I think he might have been. Yeah,
he was a cop. I know he was a cop. Yeah, I don't remember if it was Secret Service or not, but regardless,
somebody else. Nonetheless, it just that kind of thing. Obviously, that's not a fact at all. That doesn't tell us anything for certain. But I mean, once you start thinking about these things, and I think I don't know that it's even just about Trump. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
This administration has been fully supported by the fucking Republican Party, with the exception of like one guy,
Thomas Massey.
Thomas Massey, fucking killing it, dude. They all are in it together. They all recognize that there's going to be potential likely consequences to their, to the thing they love most, which is their seats of power and the money that comes with it, and the power that comes with it. Would they be risking all that if they, to such a degree? Like they see this as an end game, is what I'm convinced. That there is a a fixed point in their minds whenever things are no longer going to be viable as the United States as we've known it. And that seems to me that the most obvious point would be post-election 2028. And if not, we're just kind of slow rolling us into it, frog in the boiling water thing, which we've basically been doing the whole time. So like what I was thinking is that if let's say 2028 comes around and they're not able to completely suppress or rig election, and it just becomes a fucking blue tsunami, like you can't even deny that shit. Okay. Hopefully that's what happens. But in that event, and then they just decide, well, I don't care. You know what I mean? Then there's going to be a little bit of some heated reactions to that. People might get a little pissed.
I look at it this way.
If you're determined to not leave office, you're going to want to be somewhere where literally nobody can fuck with you, but you also have everything that you need and want.
Right.
And then and at that point they would just ride it out, because in their minds, and they're probably not wrong, it would be like they'll fucking calm down and go home eventually, because they haven't done anything to us yet. They haven't made us stop yet. So yeah,
Well, and here it's a fallback position, right? And part of it is that like you look at what Trump has done the last 6 years since he was removed from office, basically by force. Everything he has done is to secure power going forward, and he has a bunch of people who are not only yes men to his whims, but also want to be the toadies of the guy who seizes power.
Yep.
Or want to be the guy who can seize power when that guy dies, because he's a frail old man who is rotting before our very eyes. And boy, howdy, you can smell it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, did you see, what was it? I saw something the other day where that he, well, first of all, he's doing the whole, I take all these cognitive tests and stuff, and I'm ace them. I know the animal that they show me or whatever. And it's like, dude, you're not supposed to take cognitive exams unless there's concern that your cognitive abilities are lacking, and you've taken several in a short period of time. That's not good.
That's bad.
He's kind of himself.
That means you had that's like a stroke victim thing.
Which it seems pretty clear he had a stroke, and that was last September,
last fall, yeah.
When he was out,
that was the thing that like broke the like Charlie Kirk fervor, was that like, the president disappeared for like a week and came back with like weird splotches on his hands and bruised legs. It's like, hold the fuck up, what happened to that guy?
So let's jump forward here in this video to, let's finish this one real quick because it's a short one.
Sure.
But so Robert Reich is in this one. He's
a pretty respected journalist, yeah.
Bailout to Melee, and there's no USAID.
Well, you're pointing out all of the absurdities and see, I'm going to do this for Lania again. You ready? Because people are now waking up to this. They see, how can he be building a gigantic ballroom to sit 1,000 people? These are not going to be a ballroom for working class people. These are going to be a ballroom for the people who are actually getting their names etched into the marble pediments of the ballroom. That is the billionaire class, the billionaires, the CEOs of the giant corporations. They are the ones who are going to actually be in the ballroom, and they are the ones who are financing the ballroom. They are the ones who are financing the desecration of the White House as the people's house.
And let's not forget that the billionaires, the Epstein class, and we call them that for a reason, because and that includes people who ostensibly are Democrats and vote Democrat and whatnot, and Democrats themselves. But I think it's pretty clear most of them are not. Or just, you're going to tell me that Democrats are way better at getting away with it. I guess maybe that's possible.
They're just better at being bad guys, and that's
I mean, it's possible. But like, yeah, the Epstein thing, you got to imagine, if you're somebody who is not even if you're PDF file, but if you're somebody who knowingly kind of rubs elbows with people like that in that orbit, and that you benefit from a system that's kind of connected to, you got to be freaking out a little bit after the Epstein reveals. You know what I mean? Like there's a sense, there has to be a sense of like the way we've been getting away with things for so long now that's a good chance that if we don't play our cards right, or we don't, kind of secure our bag or whatever, things are going to be bad for us before long. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the people are aware of this fucking strata of people of wealthy motherfuckers who, as Noah Hawley talks about in his article that I shared earlier.
Yeah.
Whenever he went to Jeff Bezos's party or whatever a couple of years ago, he said he came away from it with the understanding that today's billionaires have left a world of consequences. They don't
Right.
have consequences for anything anymore. So you got to think, what did Jeffrey Epstein maybe do whenever he had a consequence? Well, either he killed himself because of consequences, or somebody had him killed because they didn't want to face consequences.
Right.
That's how far these people are willing to go whenever there's consequences introduced into the fucking equation. And I don't know that everybody is fully aware of how different it's pretty clear. A billionaire brain is not even the same as a regular human.
No, you are so removed from the human experience. And like even just on like day-to-day shit, right? Like you hear when they talk about like, Trump has talked about this and other billionaires have talked about it, about like how much food costs.
Yeah.
Or like the process of going to the grocery store, and they just
when he was like,
don't
this
know.
word groceries, I don't nobody used that. It's like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Right.
I remember thinking
Like-
that, but that was before he got elected again too. I was like, wait,
Right.
no, maybe it
It's
wasn't.
like
Maybe it was after. But I was like, right, he doesn't understand that. No, this is something normal people do all the time.
Right.
That's crazy. And you could just say that's just Trump. That's just a one-off. But like, I don't.
No,
think
but
that
it's not. He's not the only one of these people who's like doesn't seem to know how regular people operate.
I got a quick clip of that kind of goes to that. I don't think it was. That wasn't Lednick. It was Nutlick or whatever.
Well, and
Just
even
the
like
guy.
while you're looking that up, like when Elon Musk got caught having someone play his video game for him, and how like we all see how much time he spends on Twitter. Bro has time to get good at a video game.
Okay,
Bro could
watch
sign
this
off of Twitter and play.
He's not doing anything
Exile.
useful. He could literally be having fun playing video games while getting the credit that actually intelligent engineers are working for him to get.
Right. I would happily sit down and play a children's card game with him if it meant he got off of Twitter for an hour. Then I would just gambling his company into my possession.
This is who's this again?
This is Trump's Treasury Secretary.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I forget.
Dingus McFartface.
Yeah, that's it. You're right.
We are going to give guidance at some point to see what is a mom and pop that someone, maybe your parents for their retirement, bought 5, 10, 12 homes. So we don't want to push the mom and pops out. We just want to push everyone else out.
I mean, maybe, I guess, to give benefit of the doubt, maybe he was referring specifically to Maria Bartiromo or whatever, and maybe she has rich family or something. But like, otherwise, it seems like he's suggesting that just Americans just have like 5.
Mom and pops just have 5 homes. I know a lot of mom and pops. They don't own 5 homes. In fact, I think the richest person I know owns
God bless him,
2.
thank you. All right, let's get this time on in this video real quick because I think this is pretty fascinating, if not convincing.
Are we spending hundreds of millions of dollars, not just on a ballroom that no one needs, not just on a bunker that already exists, but on state-of-the-art hospital and medical facilities at the White House? So anyway, I decided to look at the timeline. This is the visual aid part. Now, I am limited on the number of things that I could include on there, but just know that a few months before this started, we were starting to see Trump's bruises on his hands. I believe the last time before this begins was in April of 2025. But in July and August of 2025, that's when a lot of the bruise discourse started picking up again, because I guess they were more visible for a time. And it just so happens that this is also when some of the ballroom stuff really started happening. I believe believe Trump had mentioned it in passing once before, like months earlier. And mid-July, on the 17th, is when the White House doctor releases a letter basically diagnosing Trump with chronic venous insufficiency, or cankles. And it just so happens that it's just a couple weeks later, on the 31st, when the White House officially announces the ballroom, scheduled to start almost immediately in September of 2025. August is when things start to get a little weird. On the 5th, Trump takes a little stroll on the White House roof.
Remember that? You know, little things that, like, when it happened, it just seemed like, oh, that's just the weird Trump news of the day. And it didn't really seem to be, you know, part of anything. But guess who he was with when he's up there?
Apparently with the first ballroom architect. On the 18th, Trump starts talking about how he would like to try and get into heaven on Fox and Friends. And then about 10 days later, Vance talks about how he's ready to step in if there's a terrible tragedy. This, mind you, right in the middle of Trump disappearing from public view for around 6 days.
We literally did an RIP Trump stream for the Fabcast.
We did.
We were like, oh, well, you know,
we did.
Salute, you know, he was a good president. No.
No. It'll be that'll be the one good thing he does is when it finally happens.
It's you know, there's the number of just kind of like, I remember whenever it was like going viral that people were just posting a video going, somebody's going to do it, and then nobody would say what it was, but everybody knew. They didn't have to say what they were talking about. Everybody
It's the same thing with,
knew what they were saying. Like, is it happen yet? Has it happened yet? You know, that kind of thing.
And you know, here in Wisconsin, that's picked up a new name, Free Beer Day.
That's great. So, like, whoever, like, bars and stuff will be offering free beer that day.
It'll be free beer day when that happens. Yeah.
I mean, look, you know, I'll never not give credit to Wisconsin for finding ways to keep its alcoholics happy.
We are people of the bottle.
As someone from Texas, who born and raised in Texas, who, you know, you drive down the street and you're going to see several churches, you know, small, large, you're going to see a bunch of churches, who then goes to Wisconsin to live there for, you know, I guess around a year or so, a year and a half. And you just drive through Racine or Kenosha, where I was at, and you see like twice as many liquor shops and bars as you do any churches. It kind of tells you something.
Yeah. Yeah. We are a people of the bottle.
Whenever I was dating somebody and I got invited to brunch, and we, you know, I went to brunch with the person I was dating and met her family, her parents, brother, and they like were kind of weirded out that I didn't want to drink Bloody Marys.
Oh yeah, especially Bloody Mary culture is. I'm not a Bloody Mary person. If I'm going to a brunch where the social invitation is for me to drink, I will have an old fashioned.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't like to drink that much, and it's like I definitely don't want to drink it. You know, I'm looking forward to the breakfast part of it. You know, eating some eggs and whatever the hell we were eating, and it's just like, but it's like, I feel like my day is gonna be wasted if I get drunk right now. Right? I'm just gonna fucking go home and ass out for the rest of the day, or at least pass out.
That's the see. This is the other part of it, especially like, was it Packer season?
It probably was. Yeah.
See, that's the thing, is that the day is already blocked out being drunk. And they're just going to be drunk from brunch through the Packers game. And then either one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to be elated and get the post-drunk rush of the Packers winning, or the Packers are going to lose and they're going to crash out anyways.
Yeah.
So there's a system here, Dane. Is it a healthy system? No. Is it a good system?
No.
Certainly not.
Well, it is for people that sell alcohol, I guess. They do pretty well.
If you were in the alcohol business, oh boy. That's okay. Our bartender likes me, so she hooks me up.
There you go. All right.
It's at the end of August. This is when all those demise rumors really started flying. But a couple days into September, he reappears and things continue somewhat as normal. This is when work on the ballroom is...
You are freezing out again.
Yeah, shit. I'll be back.
All right, bye-bye. I'll miss you. Yeah, people of the bottle, the can, the tap, the whatever else you can sustain liquid in for a couple of minutes. Yeah. Funnels, kegs, barrels, buckets, coolers, cups, mugs, carafes. We do it all. We are a devout spiritual people to alcoholism. Like, it's Mother's Day this weekend, and I'm going to 2 Mother's Days things, and I know it's gonna be vodka at one and tequila at the other. I don't think I'm gonna drink.
Lady. Sorry, I don't actually like tequila. That's just that line from the movie Cabin in the Woods that I really like. I forget the actor's name, but he's like, "Tequila is my lady."
Tequila is my mother-in-law's beverage of choice. Vodka is my mom's liquor of choice. I'm a whiskey gal.
Maybe I got too many tabs open. I don't know.
That might do it. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. Getting fit for his pine box is a day we're all going to celebrate.
Well, except for whoever has to, cut all that pine.
Hey-o.
It's a lot of pine. They might need something stronger, Anyways, it's
what's the? No, I have not seen the news from Britain. BBC. What's what? Oh, did Reform win a bunch? Because I know they had their election. I didn't see the results yet. But I knew Labor was going to get spanked because of the same reason the Democrats are going to get spanked, is because when you sell out, nobody votes for you.
What's Reform won the new council elections? Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Well, I really did hope that what was it? Hungary situation was showing.
I do think the Hungary situation is still a good sign. I still think that overall, it does not help that the left in the UK is divided and the Labour Party is fucking useless. Let me back up. No, that's incorrect. I don't wanna make them sound too good. They're actively sabotaging themselves. And they're really fucking good at it.
Wait, are we talking about America? Because
no, the Labour Party in the UK.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the Democrats in America, because it's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Democrats here. Well, okay. Federally, I think the Democrats are self-sabotaging, yeah, because they just want to be a permanent minority party so they can cash a paycheck and feel important when they stand in front of microphones. Yeah, they are.
I almost have a harder time understanding that than I do a fascist perspective, right? Like I almost feel like that's harder for me to, and it kind of is. Like I could probably do it, but like try and just put myself in, like what train of logic, what lack of moral framework, what justifications would I need to have in place in order to be that
to be a permanent minority party.
Well, to be like I actually don't want to help people, but I'm going to say I want to help people and like really try to pretend to be the part of the party. But like it's known now that we're not doing that, and we're just don't even care that people realize it. We're just going to keep taking out APAC money, and yeah, it just seems, I don't know. I guess it's just not much different from goddamn Republicans, really.
No, it's really the difference is Democrats want to be seen as, especially those Democrats, I should say, those Democrats want to be seen as socially well-behaved people and productive members of society, where Republicans think nobody else in society is a person.
That's true. Like, yeah, as going back to that article, that Atlantic article by Noah Hawley, he pointed out, I mean, it's obvious, but like the way he kind of presents a couple of things is like, oh wow, yeah, that's true. So when he talked about what was it, Peter Thiel saying, that he doesn't think democracy and capitalism, or democracy and freedom is compatible anymore. He wasn't talking about freedom for me or you. He was talking about just for himself, because we're not people to him.
We're not. No,
we don't exist. And so I think we're the whole ballroom thing. I was talking to Jen about it a little while ago, like right before the stream, and think that it's a confluence of many things going on. I think that the number one underlying factor we need to understand is we are seeing the evolution of capitalism right now. Capitalism is about to make a big change. It's in the process of trying to make it happen, trying to force it to happen. But essentially, before too long, capitalism is not going to need nearly as many people to do what it does. Like up until now, basically, you've needed bodies, people doing shit, right?
Well,
that's being reduced.
No,
no,
I'm going to push back just slightly, but it'll reinforce your point. That these people are insane, and not good for not just the country but the whole world. Sure. They have convinced themselves that they don't need bodies anymore because line go up.
Yeah.
Because they could do the circular financing thing where they all just trade the same $6 between 3 or 4 companies over and over and over again, and the stock
makes their theoretical value rise, so they think they're doing something valuable. Yeah.
Right. But we're already seeing companies that have bought into that hype, who have laid people off, go, wait a minute, this costs way too much money. It costs more than having people do work because we're paying more and nothing is getting done, or things are becoming broken. But now they're in the cult. They're in the delusion. They're in hyper reality where like AI is going to do this. And we know it's not. The math has been done. It's in, ladies and gentlemen. Right. The 7 companies in the S&P that are growing are the Magnificent Seven, and nobody else is. Right.
And that's what the ones that are doing AI stuff, basically.
Yeah. It's Intel, Oracle, Microsoft, Nvidia. I forget the other 2. So like they have deluded themselves. They're gonna be able to get rid of us, and they're working to go. Well, we can cut them out of everything, except that everything that props them up is realizing, well, wait a minute, no, we still need people. It's Google. I don't know that it's it might be Apple. Apple's so weird with that because Apple is. Say again.
Well, I was gonna support what you're saying. Like the Apple seems to be, they seem to be more patient and considerate with how much they're willing to just be shameless fucking craven capitalists compared to some of these younger folks, like your Musks and your Thiels and stuff.
Apple will kiss the ring, and that's shitty on its own. And Tim Cook can go fuck himself for that. But also they're really bearish on AI. The AI they've implemented looks very different than what these LLM companies have done. It isn't as integrated. It's easy to turn off.
Yep.
And they've pushed enough so that investors who are in the bubble see them saying the right words, casting the right spells, so that the cult buys in.
That's been Apple's thing. Apple, one of the main reasons that they've been as successful as they have for so long now is that they've prioritized, at the very least, the appearance or the vibe that they are very consumer focused, and that they're like, your experience is what matters, and then also, our product's awesome, but like, everything from the branding of the Genius Bar and all the stuff that, like, the way they've just done everything, it's actually pretty brilliant as far as marketing and stuff goes. But like, so I don't know how true that is. I don't know. I mean, it's at this point, I'm sure, just a facade that is shown that makes line go up. So they're trying to find a balance between that they've always done, I guess, and then this kind of end run for fucking AI that all these other companies are doing. Was like, well, we don't want to see the stick in the mud, but they kind of are. They have been.
They have, right, and in a weird way, it makes them not the good guy, but the less evil one. Also, they're a hardware company. in a way that the rest of them aren't. Like they're a like commercial hardware company. They're not an enterprise hardware company. Their customers are people buying cell phones.
Well, so this is a good question. So many people who don't have jobs will just get jobs. You will get jobs working in the Amazon factory, in the Amazon warehouse, or doing the multiple delivery apps per day, or whatever it is. You're gonna figure something out. Or if you can't, or just aren't able to,
You'll just
you'll
die.
just die. Yeah.
So here's the thing though, AI can't make anything. It cannot. It cannot innovate. It can barely replicate. It certainly can't manufacture. It can't maintain itself. Oh yeah, Troy, there definitely is like the Apple fans, like, and I like Apple products. Apple fans are the fucking scum of the earth. Yeah, nobody, right, exactly. Like, people do buy iPhones and iPads, nobody buys Oracle server. I've worked in the IT industry with regards to data centers for over 10 years now. Oracle servers are the worst. Oracle support is the worst I've ever worked with. And
Wow.
I've worked with IBM back when Sun was around, Sun, HP Enterprise, Dell, Microsoft, Google. I've worked with all of their vendors and stuff, and with them. And Oracle is by far the fucking worst.
Right.
And I'm happy to hear that ordinary people who know about iPhones and know about iPads, but don't know shit about data centers, we all now know as a country that Oracle fucking sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying here. That this to me it's understandable that's a pretty common view, and that was my view for a long time, and I mean it still is kind of, but it's like that's just kind of the so what my experience was, that this was my view for 15 years of the existence of an iPhone, basically, and then eventually, because through whatever circumstances, I was in a situation where there was a family plan situation, and I got an iPhone.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay. I still don't see why these are so expensive, but this is actually a pretty cool device. It's got a lot of stuff that makes more sense than other devices I've used. Fast forward to 5-6 years of having that, and then whenever it came to buy a tablet a few months ago, I was looking around and I'm just like, man, I think I just know what I'm going to get from an iPad. It's just a bigger version of this, and I think I think I like that, because otherwise you're just got all these variations and options and stuff that, like, you don't know how it's going to go. So yeah, I mean, I don't like to do that in versus out, but I mean, just in terms of my partner, for example, she fucking hates her iPhone. She still doesn't like it. But
that's fair. Like my spouse is not. They love their Samsung. They have the fold out Samsung, and they would, if it was me or the phone, they'd pick the phone. And I don't blame them.
Does it? Because if the people that die are people who can't afford things, they're already not affording things.
Okay, so here's the thing. In how the market sees things,
it doesn't see those people anyway.
People, those aren't laborers, aren't people.
Yeah.
If you're an investment banker, a worker is not a person.
So
a manager is not a person. An executive, a director, that guy almost qualifies as a human being.
As long as he's blind.
Right.
For example, there was that Amazon warehouse where a factory worker simply collapsed on the floor and died. And I don't remember, it took like a while for them to get somebody to come and scoop the body up, basically. And in the meantime, the manager on duty told everyone else to just continue working, walk around the corpse that lay on the floor, just continue doing your jobs. That couldn't be more literal example of and if there were 3 people dying a day, that's how they would treat it.
That's how and that's here's the thing, is I've seen a lot of, like, I've seen things online, like in video comments stuff, about people blaming the manager. No, an Amazon manager is not a manager, really. That's a person she is already going to lose her job. because someone has died and gotten Amazon in the news for it. She is trying to protect other people from losing their jobs with her.
Yeah.
Because they're not people, they're parts. And as far as Jeff Bezos and Amazon is concerned, if you notice a part, you replace it. Because you should notice the part. The machine should just work.
So like whenever they talk about the economy, or they talk about the stock markets, that has nothing to do with me and you.
None.
And I didn't understand that for a long time, because I think intentionally these things are made obtuse when they're discussed publicly, and they're not readily taught in public schools and things like that.
No.
So you end up with a population of people who think, oh, I should be able to get a job. This is how I was when I was like in my early 20s. I was like, the stock market's doing good. Why can't I get a job? You know what I mean?
They're unrelated.
It's pretty unrelated. Yeah. I mean, there's some degree of connection, in the sense that, like, if everything's doing pretty well generally, you can probably find a job more readily, but like still, it's
so here's a fun fact. Let's go back to the Biden years, just briefly. Unemployment was at 3%, like around 3%, which is the lowest it had ever been.
Oh, but that's not good.
The stock market hated it, because in order to keep prices low, you need just a surplus of unemployed people.
In order to have a capitalism run as it's meant to, there has to be unemployed people.
Right.
Because
they have to be able to threaten you with unemployment.
It's a competition. It's a competitive thing. So in order to be competitive, there has to be someone, or some small percentage of people, that are not able to, or not currently in the position and seeking to get the position, because then you've got people who, it creates a demand. It's an unnecessary system that creates unnecessary vying against others of the same class in order to just exist. It's a competitive thing that we agree to be into the moment we're born. You either part of it or fuck off and die, and that sucks. Because as it gets more and more actually competitive, because there's not as many there's reduced opportunities and stuff like that. You end up with look what's happened. This is one of the reasons why people mistake things for doing okay generally, is like the unemployment being somewhat low, even during Biden especially, but like that so that includes the people who were the employed people at that moment, include people who work for Lyft and Uber and do Uber Eats and stuff like that. And
sometimes actually I don't think gig workers count as employed.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it's not reported through W-2.
Okay.
Like, that's typically how they measure that. It's a whole different tax scheme.
I see.
I don't think they count towards unemployed people, but they don't count as employed. It's a weird middle ground. Small business owners have the same problem.
Yeah.
Economists don't like nuance, is what I've learned over the years. They like sound bites.
Let's see. It's just to kind of go back a bit to an aside about like all the shit that Trump's been doing. It almost seems like what he's all the things that they've done, especially in this administration. It's almost designed to destroy America, right?
Yeah.
Almost as if there's a literal playbook or something. That being said,
President of the United States were a Russian intelligence asset, what would he be doing differently than what we have already observed? In 1997, a Russian political theorist named Alexander Dugin published a book called Foundations of Geopolitics. Its prescriptions were specific: fracture the transatlantic alliance, encourage isolationism in the United States, inflame racial, regional, and cultural divisions within American society, undermine confidence in American elections. There is a term of art, useful idiot, for the far end of that spectrum, where the asset does not even know he's an asset at all. Intelligence services, when they recruit, rarely hand their assets a script. Their handlers do not need to tell them what to do. They only need to ensure the person keeps being themselves. A person like that, elevated to the American presidency, would attack NATO in public, and in private, he would humiliate allied heads of state and speak admiringly of adversaries. He would question the mutual...
What's the matter?
No, go ahead. It's just kind of staggering.
But it might be on
Actual
my end.
defense obligations that have anchored European security since 1949. He would wage sustained war on the professional civil service and the intelligence community, the very institutions trained and legally obligated to detect foreign influence at the highest levels of government. He would generate enough internal chaos to paralyze coherent strategic response. Every behavior described in this essay can be explained without any foreign hand at all. And if the machinery of American government cannot tell which it is facing or act decisively against any of them, then the vulnerability is not about the one man. It's about the whole architecture.
Uh-huh.
And that's where things stand. I'm Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney, and I want to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments.
The guy's pretty great, by the way. If you happen to subscribe to him, you probably wouldn't regret it. He's I first encountered him talking about the way that the Iran the negotiations that JD Vance, the master of convincing people things that convincingly that he went to, and this guy broke it down in terms of like he's been part of many copyright negotiations and various other legal negotiations, and I never really put much thought into the mechanics of a negotiation until that video, and I was like, holy shit, yeah. When that in mind, like, you got Iran sending their engineers, nuclear physicists, their literal best, they're fucking smartest people that actually care about the things that, talking about the enriching uranium and stuff like that, and they're trying to make their case about like we just want to enrich it for purposes that other countries do, things like that, and as well as experts on the Strait of Hormuz and things like that. And we sent JD Vance, Jared Kushner, and what's the other guy? The fucking Russian plant guy.
Which one, you guys?
Witkoff.
Oh yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. Tulsi Gabbard is a man.
People who literally not only don't know anything about anything, but they also, almost to the man, are actively seeking to undermine the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if JD Vance was sent to convince me of something, I would just presume the opposite. Like if he showed up, it was raining outside, and he told me it was raining outside, I would burn my umbrella.
So I've got a song that I wrote about JD Vance.
Oh, cool.
I thought I was going to try and debut it tonight, but I don't think the vocals are quite ready yet. I need to mix them some more. I mean, I have the instrumental. I'll play it at the end of the thing, but like, it's one of the lyrics. It's actually, I decided to go ahead and put it in the chorus, so it's repeated. You fashioned your soul into a glory hole for the Antichrist himself, and other fun insults.
I love it. I do think it's impressive though that JD Vance did create the first sofa mounted glory hole.
Well, so the name of the song is now I've decided to go ahead and do it. I didn't know if I want to include it or not, but it is called Sofa King.
Yes.
And there's a refrain a couple of times in the song where it's like so fucking obvious, you know what I mean? And that's fun.
Clever boy.
And instrumentally, it's really neat. It's fun.
So
stuff happened anyway.
It is a smidge late here. It's after 12:30. Do we want to talk about some Murdocking tonight?
Sure, we can. Yeah.
Just
wow.
End on a lighter note.
Spoilers for Daredevil Born Again season 2 finale starting now. You know what? Let me put a visual aid up so in case you want to leave and come check back with the muted or whatever and see if we're done or whatever. You'll be able to tell based on the background. In a minute. But until then, so just overall thoughts. What do you think?
So it was. This is going to sound harsh.
Mm-hmm.
It was exactly what I expected.
Yeah.
That isn't a bad thing.
It was I guess it's. I didn't really have. I try not to have expectations for stuff that I
can't help myself.
I've realized that those are there we go. That's kind of one of the ways that I end up not liking stuff the most often is
sure. Oh, we killed.
Where'd I go?
Where did you go?
We're right in the middle. Okay, that's weird.
Hi.
Okay.
Weird.
That's weird too. Just you. There we go. Oh, whatever. Fine.
All right, let's let it ride.
You can tell that's Wilson Fisk back there.
He's looking over us.
Speaking of, so I was wondering the whole season though, where is our hallway fight?
Oh, we got our hallway fight.
We got a hallway fight. We got it, buddy. Like, whoo.
I will say with the hallway fights technically, the things I loved two things about it. One, the first was that we got our defenders moment. Like we have White Tiger 2 instead of Danny and Luke Cage, but like we got three superheroes beating up cops in a hallway. Love it. I do like that both season 1 and season 2 have had this through line of like what is the difference between Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock, right? Because these are people who often say one thing and do another.
They hide who they really are from in order to achieve what they really want. And they
Right.
put in a certain face for the public, right?
Right. So all of those things, but I think this episode finally pays off that thesis because we get it so the difference so viscerally is that at the end of the day, Fisk kills regular people and Daredevil beats up fascist cops.
And Daredevil, whenever they come for him, he gets on his knees and puts his hands behind his back. And then, like I saw someone's, I don't think it was you, but somebody was saying they had a problem with him, Fisk, not having any consequences. And I was like, are you kidding me? And Matt, no, you actually said that. You said that, the good guy, and it's like, did you not see the smile at the last thing that we see Matt Murdock do?
Oh, he's happy. No, he got yeah.
And spoiler alert. Oh, you know what? This I just saw this right before the stream too. Remember how I was talking about this upcoming movie Spider-Man and how I'm convinced Daredevil was in this movie? Isn't there a sequence in the trailer where Spider-Man? What's he in? A prison?
Prison? It would. I would love to see Daredevil in the movie. But so my comment on Fisk getting away with things and Daredevil going to jail for it was sort of a more of a meta commentary on the real world. Where like
I get it. Yeah,
we have like because very much in the news a couple weeks ago was the soldier who was on the Venezuelan kidnapping mission, who was the one who placed the $400,000 bet on Polymarket. And that guy's going to jail forever now.
Yeah.
But like insider trading in Congress is legal, right?
And
so his bosses
really
can get away with
a foreign head of state is going to face
That's
no
fine.
Yeah.
You could kidnap a foreign head of state. If he was a congressman, he could do what he did. But he's just a grunt. So, he's got to do what he's told and not profit from it.
Yeah, well,
like his bosses did.
I guess I needed to distinguish but when it comes to that, yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get into that on the proper show if we do that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, as far as I haven't really applied. I mean, other than the very obvious things that you can't avoid thinking when you're watching the episode, I haven't really stopped to break it down and think about it in terms of IRL context.
Sure.
There's some pretty obvious stuff where it's like,
oh,
January 6th.
Yeah.
Except even then, what's fucking crazy and awesome is that Fisk still does it classy comparatively. He does it, well, except until he finally loses his shit and starts fucking breaking backs and shit. But like he just does it in a way that's not as pathetic.
Right.
I mean, it's still pathetic. Like it's still like a man who just like refuses to see reality and face consequences for what he's done. But like he doesn't seem as fucking lame, I guess is all it is.
Well, he doesn't seem as lame, but there's still this lame man-child thing of like, how dare I be held to account for the things I obviously did.
I was really surprised at what's her name, his aide or whatever, where she was like, my loyalty is to the office of the mayor. I was like, that's the way to get your head crushed.
That is a great way to get and she's caused people to get like it's a big moment for her character because she has made the opposite decision before and got someone's head crushed.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, her decision to do it here also gets a bunch of people's heads crushed.
I mean, I think that maybe she probably did that because there was a bunch of people around, right? Like,
yeah.
I think I'm safe. But of course, there was a bunch of people around,
Right. It's stop what's his nuts from getting killed. I
probably have some criticisms of it if I really watch it again and think about it some more. Like just in general,
it's really good.
I thought it was very good. Trying to think of what I was immediately thinking of.
One of the things I like, because I know one thing I've seen, from some more left-wing YouTubers, and it was not even like a criticism per se, but just like a noting it that like American TV can't help itself. If we're going to tell a story about bad cops, we have to show good cops.
I'm gonna
Was
defend
that? Yeah, that's fine.
because it, I you know, yes, they're all cops bastards as they're literally part of a system that they
Right.
to some degree know that they probably even know of their colleagues that do fucked up shit, even if they themselves don't, and they don't do anything about it, or you know, but at the same time, in a moment like where it's like literally, you know, like the moment that happens with Cole and him, and it's like, okay, my options here are to kill these people or just like say I'm done with this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Probably just law of averages, law of statistics. There's going to be a cop that's going to choose to do the not bad thing.
Right. Like all cops are bastards, but not all bastards are created.
I would rather them depict that more realistically. Yeah. I would think it was weird if they were just like literally every cop is an evil motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like
what I did like though, what I was trying to get to was that so he knocks the guy out, and once we cut to later at the end of the episode when they're also in prison with Matt.
Yeah. That's gonna be fun.
Is that the guy who knocked the other one out and said let him through is also in jail. Like he didn't get away with it because he was the one good cop. No, he went down too. Which is good
because he did a lot of shit prior to that. Like he was part of a lot of stuff. That, you know,
he killed White Tiger. He tried to blow up Matt Murdock several times.
He sought to come back into the, you know, they thought he was done after he got burned and stuff. He was like, I'm back. I want to do some more shit. So like, yeah, he totally deserves it.
Right, but I'm glad that it wasn't like this is his redemption moment. It was like, no, throw him away with the rest. Right? He did one good thing. Yes, that's a good thing, but he's got to pay still. He still has to do his time.
So Matt's been in jail in prison twice in the comics.
In the comics, yeah.
Once at the very Bendis put him in prison at the very end of his run. He and I was reading about this. He actually worked with Matt Fraction, who was the next Brubaker. I'm sorry, Ed Brubaker was the next writer, and they worked together. He wanted to make sure. He's like, if I do this, are you okay with taking over the title with this being what's going on? He's like, yeah,
sure,
it's fun. So they did that. He ends up going to prison. He ends up his name is out there, but he, you know, it's not. It seems far more certain that people are going to know that he's Matt Murdock in the show, whereas in the comics, it was the circumstances that made it known to the public were a little bit iffy. So like some people, it's more just like oh yeah, the blind lawyer, you know, like they know it is or they think it is, but they don't know for sure kind of thing.
Sure.
And then he did it again. They did it again. Zdarsky did it, which I didn't realize because I remember reading Zdarsky's run. It was very, very good, very good. But it did read in some spots like a greatest hits of Daredevil stories.
Sure.
In a way. And I was wondering, and that it was like, did he mean to do that? And he very much did. And now I've learned that he intentionally. He was like, what can I do? There's some of the writers that worked on this have done the best Daredevil stories ever. Like so what he decided to do is just kind of create his own narrative, framework, but he wanted to kind of touch on some of his favorite Daredevil stuff. And so there's several, kind of little mini arcs throughout his run where he deals with very similar circumstances. So like he had already led the Hand at one point during Shadowland, and he did that again at this, where it plays out very differently. But he, him and Electra.
Shadowland was shit.
It was shitty. I think that was a little bit just maybe him going, I can do this better, and he did.
And he did.
But like
it's a low bar, but he cleared it.
And then so yeah, he went to prison, and I'm just really looking forward to him beating the ever-loving shit out of these cops in prison. It's gonna be fun. It's got to happen. It has to happen. But
I think some of at least the main nutcase will try and start something. And
Powell's a fucking piece of shit. God.
Yeah, he really is. That guy deserves every bad thing that happens to him. And then
great
some.
Casting. That actor's probably a really nice guy, but just like the look of him is like, oh, you motherfucker.
He plays like he is. This is the sign of a good character, right? Is that like a good character makes you feel something? He is a good character because you just want him to fucking suffer. You hate that guy.
So I think we're gonna be finding this out. So I think if you watch the Punisher thing that's coming up, that's gonna be a direct result of the ending of this. I'm pretty confident.
And it's next week.
Yeah. So like the plot of the Punisher thing supposedly is about basically that Fisk was being mayor was holding back several crime organizations that otherwise would have been plaguing the city at this point. So you can imagine that they were, definitely already probably scared of Fisk when he was just the kingpin. But now that he's mayor, they're keeping it cool. Now it's like, hey, all bets are off. So you're going to have, I think, 4 or 5 different organizations, including the Hand. The Magia is what they're called in the comics. It's silly.
Yeah.
But the represented by Ma Nucci, I think. And then some others that basically are going to peek their heads out, start doing some shit, and that's what we're going to see in Punisher. And I think it's also going to be directly why Punisher is in Spider-Man, and
probably
that supposedly Spider-Man is dealing with the fallout of that as well. So
which is good.
Excited. Yeah, it's a narrative through line without being something that's so specific that you need to, like know all the details. It's kind of like, okay, so Fisk was mayor for a while. Now he's not, and things have gone crazy. We can have that be the status quo for several projects, and I'm excited.
Do you know do you want to hear something wild? Absolutely wild. There's a Punisher movie coming out this month and a Star Wars movie coming out this month, and I'm going to watch one of them, and it isn't Star Wars.
I've got a video downloaded right now that if I know you want to you can get out here sooner, and I'm not going to do it tonight, but this motherfucker made a video and he's just talking about it's Chud. I mean,
sure,
maybe not. I haven't seen anything explicitly
okay.
Chud. He is very much this fucking broed out, tattooed face motherfucker. That that's not inherently a negative thing, but whenever it comes with the things, he's essentially talking about John Bernthal's a pussy compared to the real Punisher, Ray Stevenson, and stuff like that. And he's talking about John Bernthal's haircut in the Punisher promo, the really new thing where it looks like he's a singer of an emo band or something. And it's just like. He's like, that's not the Punisher. I'm like, dude, what the fuck do you even like? The Punisher, and he says the peak of Punisher is, and he's literally wearing a shirt of it, is Punisher Warzone, the comic book. And it's like,
sure, Warzone's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm willing to bet that I probably understand the Punisher better than he does.
I have a sneaking suspicion.
Check the record. But yeah.
I mean, if this is an excuse to go back and watch your Punisher videos, I'll probably take it because I haven't watched them in a while and I like them. But yeah, it
seems like in the trailer that I saw, I remember seeing him getting the key to the city. Maybe, but yeah. As far as just one thing, I don't know how I missed it, but when they first reintroduced Jessica Jones this season, I missed that she was having issues with her powers. Or maybe that's from the season or the final season of her show that I did not watch.
No, that's from this. Yeah, that's new to this.
So whenever him and her go into the port or whatever, and they're fighting all these goons and the task force guys, and she punches a guy and he doesn't really, he kind of just takes it. I was like, what's that? What powers that guy gonna have? What's he doing? How's he do that? I had no idea, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then a couple episodes later, something about her powers are on the fritz. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a couple lines before the scene in the port where she's like, Matt's like, you're breathing funny, you got a broken rib. It's like, how did that happen? She's like, oh, yeah, since my kid was born, my powers aren't always on, and this didn't come with a user manual. And
yeah, I guess that's a decent enough way to make her a little bit less invincible, right?
Right. I mean, because as far as the Netflix Defenders goes, she's very much the Superman character.
Well, Luke Cage too, to a degree. I guess maybe a lesser extent, but
yeah. But she even had the jump. Often in her shows, she's just enters a scene by jumping in.
Yeah, isn't it in the comics? She can fly?
She can fly in the comics, but in the show, she's like the original Superman, where he just jumps.
Yeah, thought so. It's good.
Which I like.
Good to see Mike Coulter back at the very last minute.
Yep.
He seems, like he's not quite as big. Maybe that's just my perception.
No. That's fine though.
Hey dogs, y'all stop dogging, please.
Oh.
What else?
Did I die?
No, did I die? What happened?
I think I died.
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Oh, wow, cool. Just noticed that. By the way, once we show a comment, it kind of grays out on when it goes back over there, so we don't have to.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That's cool.
That's a new thing.
That's new. Wow, they added a new feature I don't hate. I'm so proud of them.
What else was there? Look, I love that I love Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock. I fucking love it.
He's really good at it.
And honestly, I still, I know that there's a narrative need to do a different thing with Wilson Fisk if you're going to include him at all next time. But because it's just they've stretched it. It's definitely to the point where anymore it's hard to see what the dynamic would be that would still be interesting and not just feel like still retreading some,
Right. And I think part of the problem is that like Daredevil
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm having some technical difficulties on my end. My internet's cutting out. So I think I am just going to bounce for the night then so I don't keep vanishing. So
all right.
Take it easy, folks.
Thanks
Nice chatting as always.
See you soon.
Happy to be here.
Everybody thank Morgan.
On the dark side.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, I absolutely love freaking Vincent D'Onofrio's Fisk as well. He's great. His I like how he played very understated performance once Vanessa died in the season. You expect to see him kind of rage out, and eventually we did, but like instead of just him being overtly like, I'm so angry, I'm killing everybody I come into contact with because of Vanessa dying, which they could have done. That would have been choice. Instead he just kind of becomes despondent and quieter in a way, and like not really connected to whenever he's having a conversation with somebody. He seems to not really be fully engaged. And it's just in that way it's almost scarier because like you're like, fucking, that's not good. He's somebody who ever since we've been introduced to this Wilson Fisk has been very much with it. Like he's fucking locked in on whatever topic. He's locked in on he's autistic as fuck. Let's be honest. I think that was, I don't know if it was explicitly stated, but it was definitely implicit in some of those flashback scenes, I believe, that he is a spectrum guy. So he's like he's very much a guy who is on top of any topic he's engaging in. He's the smartest guy in the room. He's always looking for his angle and stuff. So to see him just kind of like disconnected the way that he was, and still making choices, still making decisions that are big decisions, is kind of terrifying. It's like this underlying thing of like, this is not going to end well. And it didn't end well for a few randos who made the mistake of confronting him in this hallway fight, which I was like, oh well, God, we're getting a Fisk hallway fight. That's amazing. We also got some Matt too, but like, yeah, seeing Fisk just like that legitimately is had the same exact vibe as fucking Darth Vader in the end of Rogue One. Anybody else think that? I kind of want to see those cut together and just or have the music from Rogue One. I might have a project to do. But yeah, you picked that one guy up and just like smashed him against the fucking corner of the hallway and like back broke in half. That's crazy. And then I love how he opens the door and he goes boo and just fucking punches the dude across the screen. Yeah. Good stuff. You love to see it. And then, I've also been watching videos whenever one pops up that's interesting. It seems interesting, of D'Onofrio and Cox talking to each other and talking to people about, just working on the show and how much they love the characters and everything. And it's like, I honestly, I don't remember if I've seen any actors be that just like so fucking grateful to just be doing this shit at this point and get another chance. And also, the respect they have for each other as performers is very heartwarming. And there's the way that this final confrontation between the two played out. You love to see it. I just like anytime they're in each other's faces and it's the climactic moment, they're both just fucking giving it their all, and it's like, holy shit, these guys are masterful at what they're doing right now. Charlie Cox in particular being a British man who can see, playing a American man who cannot, and also he's not just a blind man. He's a blind man who can actually perceive in a way. So he's aware, unlike an actual blind person would be, And so that's got to be, there's so many layers. Holy shit. Layers of that shit. I guess we're not going to get into this other thing because it would kind of bum me out to end on this, but Voting Right Act, Supreme Court decision. It's not good, man. Just going to say that. You obviously probably already know about that. If anybody's not aware of what happened there, what the consequences of that might be, let me know and I can kind of go over it briefly. But like, we are not looking so good right now. And the only thing that can happen other than just we things continue to get worse is we make sure that they don't. And I know that seems simplistic, but like, yeah, I don't know. You just gotta, when it comes to be time to vote, whether you're talking about in November or 2 years plus in that November, we need to be finding ways to help support communities that might be at risk of being harassed, that might feel intimidated, that might feel like they should not get out and vote. I'm very fortunate here in Oregon. We have mail-in voting, and I just got my recent ballot for I guess some local stuff or whatever, but I haven't filled it out yet. But like, it works. They've been doing it in Oregon for like 20 plus years, and it is exceedingly efficient and easy, and far less risky than anything else you can do. There's something like been like maybe 3 or 4 legitimate cases of some kind of like fraud when it comes to voting by mail in Oregon. I don't remember exactly, but it's an infinitesimal amount compared to anything else, which is also a very small amount. Like, where there's just not a lot of there's not a lot of fucking voters like tampering with elections or bullshit fraudulent ballots like Trump claims. And when there are, especially in recent years, it's been MAGA people that do it. So I don't know what time we got. 10:53. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna play, not literally play. I'm just holding my guitar because I feel like it. But I got an instrumental of that JD Vance song that I'm gonna play on the way out the door, and probably do some kind of visual thing here at the same time. Let's see. Oh, we got this.
Wow. What a view.
What a view indeed. Other than that, here is this. I hope you subscribe. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and find a way to do something for yourself. Treat yourself. I don't know. I'm kind of crashing out. I'm fucking hungry, tired. So here we go. But oh wait, not that one. This one.
But imagine a giant Joe Rogan pussy right up there. We're like, I mean.